mention that
Robert
phrase?
is an energy giver. I think, but Lauren, there's different ways of doing it, and I think Robert in his own way, I'll say, in his own way, Robert Flores is an energy giver.
AKA he's not. Hall of Fame weekend, JP. We chuckled.
I'm a giver. I'm a giver. We do know that.
Lucas, get
I
him
bought
off.
Munchkins. I bought Munchkins for the editing crew.
They
Now, granted,
they each got 1.5 munchkins.
I know. It was a 20.
Zach.
Lauren,
I was watching people bite them
count.
and put them back.
I know. It was a 25 count.
Oh my gosh. We just saw JP the picture of CC breaking down. He just rolls with everything, right? And we recognize their greatness on the field and on the mound, but they both, him and Billy Wagner, kind of use their platform for a purpose. Tell me more.
They really do. And let's begin with Billy Wagner, who is known to many young people in the state of Virginia as Coach Wagner, Coach Billy. He is the head coach at the Miller School. And look at that intensity on the field in the dugout. There they are at their home field there at the Miller School of Albemarle. And look at that intensity. That's basically like finishing a save for Billy Wagner. He's coached this team for many, many years. And very importantly, his son, Will, is in the big leagues with the Blue Jays. And we do expect to see Will here on Sunday, which is going to be a great family moment for the Wagners. But he is giving back in a really powerful way, Lauren, and very proud also of his roots in Tazewell County, Virginia. Billy Wagner, notably, and the Hall of Fame did some great research on this, he is the first product of Division III baseball to be elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. Division III Ferrum College. So congratulations to Ferrum College on one of their own being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Now, with CC, as we talked about earlier, by the way, I think that I know with the Road to Cooperstown podcast, I will literally be asking CC about the road to Cooperstown and his journey to get here. I had that thought as I was seeing that photo. My goodness. But CC, we talk so much about the pitcher. The person deserves, I think, even more praise because he is someone who ever since and even during his career has dedicated himself to expanding opportunities in the game. There he is with his Pitch In Foundation. You see it, 2 C's in Pitch In, which I love. There he is in the Bronx helping out kids in New York with chances to play. He also inaugurated CC Sabathia Field in Cleveland. There you see the reaction of the young people getting a chance to meet CC at Luke Easter Park, CC Sabathia Field there in Cleveland. Lauren, he has left an extraordinary legacy everywhere he has played. And it's important to point out, too, in this new phase of CC's life and career, he is one of the most trusted people in the commissioner's office. And when you saw the beautiful tribute to Hank Aaron at the All-Star Game, CC, from a creative standpoint, was one of the driving forces in that production. The idea, the conception, so much of that was CC Sabathia's vision of how to celebrate it. And also, you're seeing the number 44 all around during the Home Run Derby as well. Of course, that was 7/14, 7/15 the date. A lot of those touches and details were the work of CC Sabathia. So he is someone whose legacy and imprint on the game is only now, I would just say, even midway through. He's got so much more that he's going to do, and I just cannot wait for all the speeches. CC, Billy Wagner, CC, and obviously having Ichiro's speech on Sunday, too. It's just going to be a lot of fun to hear all those amazing words here in Cooperstown.
And we will celebrate the careers and the humans, most importantly, this Sunday on MLB Network. JP Morosi, have a wonderful weekend. Thanks so much for the time. Coming up on MLB Central.
Game, yeah. and it works.
So there you go.
We've done that. You hook your foot. This is a good one, too. Hook your foot behind, and then all you do is this goes from
What does that do?
bang. You have to
Makes it
feel
look like you don't want to
you have to feel like you're cutting your body in half, and you want to play with the back half of your body.
Why do you do this to them?
You guys,
Why?
we're trying to make hitters out of it. I didn't know how to hit coming out of high school and college.
You know who always knew how to hit? Ichiro.
Oh,
And
God.
he's in the Hall of Fame. And speaking of which, our Hall of Fame coverage begins Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern from Cooperstown. Greg Amsinger and our crew will be on site to celebrate yet another class at the Baseball Hall of Fame. And then that's when the ceremony itself will begin, 1:30 Eastern time, right here on the network. As you've seen on our table here as part of our set, we have had the caps of representing the various teams that the Hall of Famers played for. You got Dave Parker, who unfortunately we lost a few weeks ago. He will posthumously be inducted there in the Hall of Fame. CC Sabathia and Ichiro, Billy Wagner. Who am I missing? Am I missing someone?
Did you say Ichiro?
I think I said Ichiro.
You know what stands out to me about Ichiro?
Dick Allen.
Yeah,
Dick Allen,
of
who's
course.
also be posthumously inducted into the Hall of Fame. Glad that he's finally getting his due. But Dero, Ichiro, I remember my first memory of Ichiro was that throw from right
2001.
field in 2001 at the old Oakland Coliseum. I mean, just an unbelievable player.
What I remember, my first interactions with Ichiro were when I signed with the Texas Rangers in 05 and 06, and I remember going to play in Seattle, and the way we had to position him.
What do you mean?
Playing third base, you had to play like he was going to bunt. So you're up on the infield grass. Hank Blaylock, playing third base for the Texas Rangers, was basically playing like he was guaranteeing bunt. Michael Young was in double play depth in and over. Like, he put the defense in a position where this is how you had, if there was a ground ball to shortstop and you were playing normal depth, boom, safe. It had to be in, up, and go. You got to get rid, because he was actually hitting behind the baseball, and he was halfway to first base, and he had pop, and he played D, and he was like this just icon. So I want to dive in on Ichiro, and I want, some of these numbers are so ridiculous. First on the scene, let's get into it. Because he didn't make his major league debut until 27 years old and 161 days, and yet he still had 3,089 hits. Combine it with Japan, he had 4,367. And he did, Robert, get in that position. Did you see that? Run that back for me real quick. Does he have ligaments and tendons? I mean, who gets there? And I used to just be enamored watching him do this stuff on deck. He takes the seat. I can't even get in that spot.
Dang, Ichiro.
Ready to go. I'm going to read off so much stuff for you that the numbers are just crazy good. I want to take you back to Japan. Some of the stuff, watch this ball, bounces. You think he sees it? And this is a guy that hit 500 to 1,000 swings every day growing up in Japan. He ended up winning not one batting title. He won 7 batting titles over there. He won 3 consecutive MVPs over there before coming over to Seattle and signing a 4-year, $13 million deal before the 2001 season. And Lou Piniella was a little bit concerned early in spring training because he was looking to shoot everything up the middle the other way. Bunt for base knocks, and Lou always wanted to see big bombs and be able to turn on it. And then one spring training game, he goes deep a couple times and comes in and says, hey, Lou, basically relax. I'm going to put this game on blast. I'm going to win the Rookie of the Year and the MVP in 2001, and I'm going to have a highlight reel for the ages. And he dominated Hall of Fame pitching. You go through his career, basically only Pedro Martinez gave him problems. And I love the side angle of him. You talk about minimal hand movement. Run that back for me real quick. Watch his hands. They don't move. They're like set, and he is just, boom, through the baseball and halfway to first base. And that ball's crushed, too. Robert, here it is.
This is it, man.
Do things other people can't? How about a head-high rocket to third base? I mean, what is that? What was the call? That's something out of Star Wars.
Is that Terrence Long he threw out?
Terrence Long. Watch how high this ball's off the ground. BB to David Bell. Not only that, Garrett Anderson, 2005. Climb the wall.
Good night.
I mean, he was like a spider playing right field. Lauren doesn't like insects, and he's moving fast. But I just want to love on the fact some of the numbers are so ridiculous. 200-plus hits in each of his first 10 major league seasons. He led his league in hits 7 times. We have that board. He could steal bags with the best of them, too. Most times leading MLB in hits. Ty Cobb, Pete Rose, Ichiro. Bring up the other board for me. Players with 3,000 hits and 500-plus stolen bases. people at home need to understand he didn't break into the big leagues until 27. They did this. Nordquist does an unbelievable job in research, building these out. If you kind of put, like, if Derek Jeter burst in at 27 years old, he ends up with 2,200 hits. Kind of, and we all know Jeets was north of 3,000. This guy was different. He brought all the tools to the table. He could have hit for more pop if he wanted to. But he added value in so many different ways. Hit balls in the gaps, triples for days, cannon defense, and kind of for a visiting player to watch him. He had 262 hits in 2004 and broke the record for most hits in a season. I can't wait. And they say he's visited Cooperstown like every year.
7 times to learn about the history of the
Yeah, I can't wait to hear his speech. I can't wait to hear CC and Billy Wagner and all these guys. And then he went inside the park home. Look at him. He's giving the boys love right there. He went inside the park home run out in San Francisco in the All-Star game.
He goes full uni, by the way, still goes full uni when he's out.
Brian McCann told me he played with him in New York. He goes, this guy's 40 years old. I go up in the clubhouse in between innings because he might get in the game late. He said he is doing full throttle 40-yard sprints in the clubhouse to get loose.
Wow.
Most guys are up there. I was up there eating Reese's Cups and dipping into the spread a little bit.
Not him. Coverage from Cooperstown beginning 11 a.m. Eastern right here on MLB Network. Let's step aside. We're going to talk minor league baseball when we come back. Going to talk about
Hall of Fame weekend is coming up, and our coverage starts on Sunday, 11 a.m., the induction preview. Then at 1:30, the induction ceremony, and then MLB Now live from Cooperstown on Monday. And certainly the guy that will handle that is Brian Kinney. All right, so CC Sabathia, how about this? Headed up to Cooperstown, his car broke down. There with the whole family, and his wife does not look happy in that picture at all. She told them to change the oil. I'm sure of it. Update from CC, though. Made it to Cooperstown. Damn, y'all are some real ones to offer rides and everything. Much love. It's all part of the Hall of Fame memories. We now welcome in Brian Kinney from Cooperstown. So, BK, any car trouble for you on the way up there?
Steve, I've been cut up for like 40 years. Always watch out for deer. There were deer everywhere when you're coming up. But CC's fine, by the way. His whole family's here. Everybody's good. Jason Stark, famously, on the year he was being honored for meritorious service as a sports writer, hit a deer. So you have to be careful driving up to Cooperstown. It's not easy getting here in a lot of ways, right? Being inducted or driving up here, but it's worth it. As you can see behind me, it's worth it.
Yeah, it certainly is. I remember driving up there and the sign said 20 miles to Cooperstown. I drive 20 miles and they would say 14 miles to Cooperstown. I'm like, when are we going to get there? All right, so earlier today, you did the walkthrough with the Hall of Famers. What sense did you get from them? Are they nervous? Are they excited, anxious? What are you feeling?
I think the weight of the honor and the enormity of the honor and the day it begins to sink in to these Hall of Famers. Again, Steve, as you know, this is the most prestigious Hall of Fame of any sport. It has the greatest history. And I think all of these players, even though, these guys are longtime stars, they've been in the spotlight for a long time. We go up to the Clark Center where, right in the middle of the village, and we stand out on the stage. We go over the ceremony, and all the Hall of Famers get to stand there and look out to where the crowd will be, this large, enormous field in Cooperstown. And it starts to sink in. I know I said, CC, you feeling good? He goes, well, we're doing this either way. So he goes, it's happening. So I might as well enjoy it. And we asked at one point, Jane Forbes Clark, the chairman of the Hall of Fame, asked, does anybody have any questions? And Ella Allen, Dick Allen's wife, said, who'll be presenting for Dick, who's passed away, said, yes, can I back out still? And she said, no, it's too late. So, no, it's everyone feels that pressure. Even I saw Joe Mauer in the lobby, and it's 1 year later for Joe Mauer, and he and his wife are just felt like we're so relaxed. It's so nice the next year. So these guys, as big as they are, and even Ichiro Suzuki said, yeah, I'm not ready as of today. I will be Sunday, but right now, I'm not ready. No matter how big of a star they are, they feel the weight and the enormity of this honor.
Yeah, well, I mean, speaking of Ichiro, the first Japanese-born player being inducted, He's leading the way for other Japanese players somewhat down the road. What do you expect from his speech, and what do you expect in the crowd in support of him?
You know, we don't know how large the crowd will be. I mean, we're expecting 40,000 plus. I don't know beyond that. I'm really not sure. It's a free concert, as I said back in Woodstock. It's a free event, so you don't have tickets. We don't know exactly how many people will be showing up specifically, but we expect about, who knows, between 40 to 60, 70,000 people. Ichiro will deliver his speech in English, and I think he'll do it with humor and grace. Everything he's done so far has a touch of humor. He's known for his sense of humor, and you don't always get to hear that because he has, throughout most of his career, spoken Japanese. But this will be in English. And again, for those who don't know, Ichiro used to visit the Hall of Fame in the winter, most every single year. So he takes this very seriously. He's been waiting for this moment, and I think he's just going to enjoy it, and we're going to see something very special.
You know, I picture you sleeping in a tent with a headband on, sort of the Woodstock of baseball going on there in Cooperstown.
I'm glad you got that reference.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I got it.
Not
okay.
Everybody gets that.
Yeah,
anymore,
I know, exactly. Well, we're about the same age. All right, so it's going to be a great weekend. So how many Hall of Famers do you expect to be back on the stage?
56. So that's a big group. I think it's the largest group since the pandemic. And I'm excited. You know, this becomes a fraternity through the years where these stars come back year after year. Carlton Fisk is coming back for the first time in a few years. I haven't seen Carlton in a while. I was here, when he was inducted initially. And, you get used to seeing so many of these players, so many of these legends year after year. I'm excited personally to see Carlton again. Sandy Koufax will be back. And, Steve, we know like there are only a few legendary figures in baseball. I'm writing my introductions, for the past few days. And I'm writing, Sandy Koufax, his introduction, his bio. And then I go, all right, who's next? Pedro Martinez. And it just hits me like, how many places can you see, hey, there's Cal Ripken and Derek Jeter having a chat. There's Mike Schmidt meeting Adrian Beltre for the first time. And now this week, there's Sandy Koufax, Pedro Martinez, Randy Johnson, Greg Maddux, go on and on. John Smoltz, of course. It's gonna be a thrill, and it's thrilling to see everybody here at the same time. That's what really strikes you when you're up in Cooperstown.
It's interesting because there are certain times when I'm at a location and I realize, man, how lucky are we to be able to do this for a living? And I suspect that hits you there in Cooperstown when you're on the stage introducing everybody.
Oh, no question. Just to be able to drive up here through that drive with my wife through the country roads, and coming up through Kingston and then taking new ways through farms and then getting here and being able to soak it all in. It's so exciting. And I don't take it for granted. It's a great privilege and a great honor to be up there and be able to MC the ceremony and just to walk through the lobby here and see everybody assembled in one spot. It's exciting. It's a great honor. And for those of us who take the history of the game seriously, and so many of us do, it really is. It's the most special weekend of the year.
Well, you do a great job with the BK, and all the best. Good luck on Sunday.
All right. Thank you, Steve.
You got it. Our coverage starting again 11 a.m. on Sunday morning. The induction ceremony starting at 1:30. All right, coming